So, good morning, my dear students. I'm your own Rahul sir, and today the chapter which I am going to start, which I am going to teach you, is subject and predicate. This is the second chapter of your standard 4, and this is part 1. In this particular lecture, I am going to teach you the meaning of subject, the meaning of predicate, the components, the different components of predicate, and some general rules. Now, let's start without any further delay. My dear students, if you remember, if you have seen my first part where I have taught you the sentence and its requirements, I taught you in that part that in order to frame a correct sentence, all the group of words needs to be arranged properly. They need to be arranged in a proper order. And what was the order? The order was S plus V plus O. The order was S plus V and plus O. Here, my dear students, S meant subject, V meant verb, and O meant object. Now, dear students, the rule that I gave you of arranging a sentence in a proper structure, S plus V plus O, this rule is not fixed. It can be changed as per the types of sentences. You remember I taught you 4 different types of sentences, and this rule S plus V plus O means the placement of S, the placement of V, and the placement of O can be changed, can be altered as per the requirement of the sentence, as per the type of the sentence. Now here we will try to understand subject and predicate in detail. So let's start. The very first question that I have written is, what do you mean by subject? I already told you the meaning, that the subject is the doer of the action. The subject is the performer of the action. Means if somebody is performing that action, will become the subject. But the answer that I have written is similar to what I said you, what I told you, but in a different way, in a changed way. Sorry. Like I have written, the part of the sentence that tells us who or what the sentence is about is called subject. Now, if you analyze this definition that I have written, you will come to know that it will be summarized as doer of the action, which I told you in the previous lecture. Here also, I am trying to tell you the same thing, that the subject is the doer of the action, but in a different way. I have written the part of the sentence that tells us who or what the sentence is about is called subject. I have written the part of the sentence, means a sentence basically is divided into 2 parts, subject and predicate. Subject and predicate. And the part of the sentence that basically tells us about who or what the sentence is about is called the subject. Now look at the example carefully. I have written, the cat sleeps in its cage. The cat sleeps in its cage. In this particular example, my dear students, the cat will become the subject because it is the doer of the action. The cat is, my dear students, the subject because it is the doer of the action, my dear students. Because the cat is doing that action, performing that action. What's the action? I'll tell you later on. Now let's understand what do we mean by predicate. The second question that I have written is, what do we mean by predicate? The answer says, the part of the sentence that tells us about the subject is the predicate. The part of the sentence that tells us about the subject is the predicate. Now let's come to the previous example that I have written as the cat sleeps in its cage. Here, the cat is sleeping, my dear student. The cat is sleeping. And where is it sleeping? It is sleeping in the cage, in its cage. And as per the definition I told you, predicate tells us, predicate is that part of the sentence that basically tells us about the subject. The predicate is that part of the sentence that tells us about the subject, my dear student. And here, the cat was the subject, and the information that we are getting about the subject means the cat, that it is sleeping. And where is it sleeping? It is sleeping in its cage, my dear students. Hence, if in this example the cat sleeps in its cage, the cat is the subject, then sleeps in its cage will become the predicate, my dear students. Will become the predicate, my dear students, because this is the part of the sentence that is telling us, that is giving us an extra information about the cat. Now, I hope I made you clear about the meaning of the subject and the predicate. Now I have written a note, a special note. I have written, the subject performed the action denoted by the verb. The subject performs the action denoted by the verb, my dear students. It simply means that the subject is the performer of the action. It simply means that the subject is the performer of the action. In the second note I have written, the predicate contains the verb. The predicate contains the verb. Now what does this mean? The previous note we already knew in the chapter sentence, but this particular note, the predicate contains the verb. Now let's try to understand the second note properly. As I told you that a sentence contains two different parts, subject and the predicate. And subject was the doer of the action, my dear students. Now, this predicate contains two different parts. I have written there, predicate contains two different parts. First one is the verb, and second is the object, my dear students. Now, as per my structure that I gave you in the previous lecture, where I wrote S plus V plus O, now this V plus O meant predicate. Yes, my dear students, that V plus O simply meant predicate. Now, if we analyze that structure properly, it was quite similar to subject plus predicate, where predicate stood for V plus O, where the predicate was indicated with V plus O, and V was the verb and O was the object. Now, as we understood that subject is the doer of the action, verb are the action words, and object is the receiver of the action. This is not new for you guys. This everything I discussed in the previous lecture, sentences. Subject was the doer of the action. V for verb, verb was the action word, and O for object, and object was the receiver of the action. Now let's come to the same example once again, where I have written the cat sleeps in its cage. In this example, my dear students, the cat of course is the subject. Sleeps is the action that is being done in this sentence, and in its cage is the object. Why? Because the action of sleeping is received by the cage. And who is doing that action, my dear students? The cat is doing that action. So, we can conclude that the cat becomes the subject, sleeps becomes the verb, in its cage became the object, and hence sleeps in its cage became the predicate because it contained both the things, means verb and object. Now we can easily summarize everything in this chapter that a sentence basically has got two parts, subject and predicate, means the first part is the subject and the second part is the predicate. Subject is the doer of the action and predicate is the remaining part of the sentence, which includes two different parts again. The first part that the predicate contains is the verb, and the second part that the predicate contains is the object. Subject, as I told you, is the doer of the action, verb is the action word, and object is the receiver of the action. And verb and object togetherly make predicate. Now I hope I made you the introduction clear. In the next part of this chapter, I'll try to explain you the different placements of subject in different types of sentences. Till then, take care. Goodbye.